Life has a way of speeding by, doesn't it? Days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into years. And somewhere along the way, many of us put off the things we know we should be doing. We hold back on our dreams, we settle for less than we deserve. And we tell ourselves, maybe later. But what if later never comes? What if today is your only chance to take control and create the life you truly want? This is your moment to get serious. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. In this video, we're going to dive into what it really means to take charge of your life. We'll talk about the decisions you need to make, the habits you need to build, and the excuses you need to leave behind. If you've ever felt like you're capable of more, but you're not sure how to start, stay with me. By the end of this, you'll not only feel inspired, you'll have practical steps to help you take action and start seeing real progress. Your future is waiting. Let's make sure you show up ready. Number 1. The power of decision. I want to talk to you about something that can change your life in an instant. It's the power of decision. This isn't just about picking between one thing or another. It's about commitment. It's about drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is it. My life changes today. Look around at your life right now. Everything you see, the good, the bad, the in-between, is the result of decisions you've made. Every choice you've acted on, every moment you let pass without action, has brought you here. The question is, are you satisfied with where you are? If the answer is no, then it's time to get serious. It's time to stop waiting for something to change and decide that you're going to change it. Decisions are powerful because they create clarity. When you make a real decision, you eliminate doubt. You don't waste energy wondering, should I? Shouldn't I? You simply move forward. But too many people live in a state of hesitation. They want better health, but they don't commit to exercising. They want financial freedom, but they don't make a plan. They want stronger relationships, but they don't make the effort. What's stopping you? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Whatever it is, let me tell you something. It doesn't go away by waiting. Fear doesn't disappear. You overcome it by taking action. Doubt doesn't fade. You erase it by proving to yourself what you're capable of. When you make a decision, everything starts to change. But not just any decision. A real decision. One that you fully commit to, no matter what. It's the kind of decision where you stop making excuses, stop blaming circumstances, and start taking responsibility for your life. Let's say you've been wanting to improve your health. A real decision would look like this. You clean out the junk food from your pantry. You commit to a daily walk, and you drink more water. Simple steps, but powerful ones. Because once you decide, you're no longer negotiating with yourself. You don't think, maybe I'll start tomorrow. No, you start today. Or maybe it's your career. You're stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill you. A real decision means updating your resume, reaching out to contacts, and applying for new opportunities. It means taking the first step, even if you don't have it all figured out yet. Decisions force you to act, and action creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence leads to results. But it all starts with that first step. A decision to take control of your life. Now, I'm not saying it'll be easy. Real decisions are hard. They push you out of your comfort zone. They demand sacrifice. But that's what makes them so powerful. The harder the decision, the greater the growth. Think about this. Every great achievement in history started with a decision. The decision to pursue a dream, to overcome adversity, to rise above challenges. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who have it easy. They're the ones who decide to keep going, no matter how tough it gets. If you're waiting for the right time, let me tell you something. The right time doesn't exist. There will always be distractions. There will always be reasons to wait. But life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It moves on. And every day you delay, you lose time. You can never get back. So what do you want? What's the goal you've been putting off? What's the dream you've been too scared to chase? It's time to decide. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Get clear about what you want. Write it down. Say it out loud. Make it real. And then act on it. Take the first step, no matter how small it seems, because the first step leads to the second and the third. And before you know it, you're on a path you never thought possible. And don't let fear hold you back. Fear is a natural part of growth. It's a sign that you're doing something important. Embrace it. Use it as fuel to move forward. When you decide to get serious about your life, you stop waiting for things to happen, and you start making them happen. You stop reacting, and you start creating. The best part, every day is a new chance to decide. If you've made mistakes, if you've wasted time, if you've let opportunities slip by, it doesn't matter. You can decide right now to do things differently. But don't take this lightly. A real decision means no turning back. It means committing fully, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable. It means being willing to do what others won't, so you can live the life others can't. Your future depends on what you decide today. The person you want to become, the life you want to live, it's all waiting for you on the other side of a decision. So I ask you, what's the decision you need to make? What's the step you've been avoiding? Don't leave it for another day. Don't let another moment slip by. Decide now. Decide that you're going to take control of your life and make it something extraordinary. Number 2, recognizing the cost of inaction. In life, there's a price for everything. Whether we take action or stay still, we're always paying a cost. The difference is, the cost of inaction is often invisible until it's too late. Think about this. Every day, every hour, you're making choices. Even when you choose to do nothing, that's still a choice. And while it may feel like staying in the same place is easier, the truth is, it's not. Inaction costs you something valuable: your potential, your time, your opportunities. Time is the most precious resource you have. You can lose money and earn it back. You can face setbacks and recover. But time, once it's gone forever. The hours you spend hesitating, doubting, or avoiding action are hours you'll never get back. And when you add those hours up over months, years, or even decades, the cost becomes staggering. Ask yourself, where would you be right now if you had taken action sooner? If you'd started working on your goals last year, how much progress would you have made by now? If you'd prioritized your health 6 months ago, how would you feel today? These aren't just hypothetical questions. They're reflections of the real cost of putting things off. Inaction doesn't just keep you stuck. It often makes things worse. Problems don't solve themselves. If you ignore your health, it deteriorates. If you neglect your relationships, they weaken. If you avoid improving your skills, you fall behind. Life doesn't pause while you're standing still. It moves on. Whether you're ready or not, there's another cost to inaction that we don't talk about enough: regret. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing all the opportunities you let slip away because you didn't act. That's the kind of pain that lingers, and it's far heavier than the discomfort of trying and failing. But let's not focus on regret. Let's focus on what can be done today. The first step to overcoming inaction is recognizing what it's already cost you. Be honest with yourself. What have you missed out on because you waited too long to start? What is staying in your comfort zone taken from you? Now let's turn that recognition into fuel. Once you see what inaction has cost you, you can use it as motivation to take action. Now, you can't change the past, but you can make sure the future looks different. Inaction also has a way of feeding fear. The longer you wait, the more intimidating something becomes. A small problem can grow into a major issue simply because it wasn't addressed in time. But here's the good news. Action, even small action, can reverse this process. Think about a decision or task you've been putting off. It might feel overwhelming right now, but what if you just took one small step? Maybe it's making a phone call, writing down a plan, or setting aside an hour to focus. That one step can break the cycle of inaction and start creating momentum. Recognizing the cost of inaction isn't about dwelling on what's gone. It's about waking up to what's possible. It's about realizing that you still have time to change, grow, and achieve. But that time won't wait for you. Every day you hesitate, the cost grows. Inaction also impacts how you see yourself. When you know there's something you should be doing but you avoid it, it chips away at your confidence. You start doubting your abilities, questioning your worth. On the other hand, taking action, even imperfect action, builds self-respect. It reminds you that you're capable, that you can face challenges head on. There's something powerful about looking at yourself in the mirror and knowing you didn't waste the day. That's a feeling worth fighting for. So how do you break free from inaction? Start by identifying the areas of your life where you've been standing still. Be specific. Is it your career, your health, your relationships, your personal growth? Once you've identified it, get clear on what staying still is costing you. Write it down. How is it affecting your future, your happiness, your sense of purpose? Seeing it in black and white can be a wake-up call. Next, commit to action. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Start with something small if you have to. but make it meaningful. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to start. Remember, inaction is a decision. It's a choice to stay where you are instead of moving forward, and every choice has a cost. But today you have the power to make a different choice. You can choose growth, progress, and momentum. The cost of inaction is real, but so is the reward of action. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll see the benefits. You'll gain time, confidence, and the satisfaction of knowing you're building the life you want. Don't let the cost of inaction steal another day from you. Decide now that you're going to take control of your time, your energy, and your potential. Because when you do, the possibilities are endless. Number 3. The importance of goals. Goals are the foundation of a purposeful life. Without them, you're simply drifting, moving wherever the tide takes you. Goals give your life direction. They are the roadmap to the future you want to create. Without a clear destination, how can you know where you're going? The first thing to understand about goals is that they provide clarity. When you set a goal, you're no longer wandering aimlessly. You know what you're working toward, and that gives your actions meaning. Imagine waking up every day, knowing exactly what you're aiming for. That sense of purpose is what drives progress. Having goals also helps you prioritize. Life is full of distractions, and it's easy to get pulled in different directions. But when you have a goal, you can focus your energy on what truly matters. You stop wasting time on things that don't serve your purpose. Another reason goals are important is that they challenge you. They push you beyond your limits and force you to grow. When you set a goal that stretches you, it requires you to develop new skills, build better habits, and become a stronger person. That growth is what makes life exciting. Let's take a moment to talk about the emotional impact of having goals. When you're working towards something meaningful, you feel alive. You wake up with enthusiasm, ready to tackle the day. On the other hand, without goals, life can feel monotonous, even empty. You start to lose that spark. Goals are also a source of hope. They remind you that no matter where you are right now, there's something better ahead. They give you a reason to keep going, even when things get tough. So how do you set meaningful goals? Start by thinking about what truly matters to you. Not what society says you should want. Not what other people expect from you, but what you genuinely desire. Your goals should reflect your values, your dreams, and your vision for your life. Once you know what you want, make your goals specific. Don't just say, I want to be successful, or I want to be healthy. Define what success looks like to you. Is it starting your own business? Is it earning a certain amount of income? For health, is it losing a specific amount of weight, or being able to run a marathon? The clearer your goals, the easier it is to work toward them. Another important aspect of goal setting is breaking them down. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but when you divide them into smaller, manageable steps, they become achievable. For example, if your goal is to write a book, start by outlining the chapters, then commit to writing a certain number of pages each day. Accountability is also key. Share your goals with someone you trust, a friend, a mentor, or a coach. When you know someone is checking in on your progress, it's harder to slack off. Now let's talk about setbacks. No matter how well you plan, there will be obstacles. You might miss a deadline, face unexpected challenges, or even feel like giving up. But here's the thing, setbacks don't define you. What matters is how you respond to them. When you encounter a setback, revisit your goals. Remind yourself why you started. Adjust your plan if you need to. But don't abandon the goal. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become more resilient. Goals also give you a way to measure your progress. They let you see how far you've come and what you've accomplished. That sense of achievement is incredibly motivating. It reminds you that your efforts are paying off and encourages you to keep going. But don't just focus on the end result. Celebrate the small wins along the way. Each step forward, no matter how small, is worth acknowledging. It's those small steps that add up to big changes. One of the most powerful things about goals is how they impact your mindset. When you have clear goals, you start to see opportunities everywhere. Your brain becomes attuned to anything that can help you move closer to your target. That's the power of focus. Goals also help you build discipline. When you're working towards something meaningful, you learn to stay consistent, even when motivation fades. You develop the habit of showing up, doing the work, and staying committed. That discipline doesn't just help you achieve your goals, it carries over into every area of your life. Finally, goals give your life a sense of direction and purpose. They remind you that you're not just here to exist. You're here to create, to contribute, and to make a difference. So what are your goals? What do you want to achieve in the next month, the next year, or the next 5 years? Take some time to think about it. Write them down, make them real. And remember, setting goals is just the beginning. The real power lies in taking consistent action. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress every day. Your goals are a reflection of what's possible for you. They are a reminder that you have the power to shape your future. Don't settle for a life of mediocrity. Decide what you want, commit to it, and go after it with everything you've got. Number 4, developing self-discipline. Self-discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the key that unlocks consistency, progress, and results. Without it, even the best plans and biggest dreams are just ideas. With it, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. So what is self-discipline? At its core, it's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's the habit of making choices that align with your goals, regardless of how tempting it might be to take the easy way out. Why is self-discipline so important? Because life is full of distractions, temptations, and moments of doubt. Without discipline, it's easy to get sidetracked. You might start with good intentions, but without the will to follow through, those intentions don't lead anywhere. Developing self-discipline starts with understanding your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's the bigger purpose behind your actions? When your reason is strong enough, it becomes easier to stay focused, even when challenges arise. But self-discipline isn't just about motivation, it's about habits. Motivation comes and goes, but habits stick. The more you practice discipline, the more it becomes a natural part of who you are. Start by creating a structure for yourself. This could mean setting specific times for work, exercise, or personal development. It could mean creating routines that keep you on track, like planning your day the night before, or setting clear priorities each morning. Discipline also requires you to make hard choices. It's about saying no to things that don't serve your goals, even if they're tempting in the moment. It might mean skipping a night out to work on your project, resisting unhealthy foods to stick to your diet, or turning off distractions to focus on what matters most. But here's the thing. Self-discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. You don't have to get it right every time. What matters is that you show up, do your best, and keep going, even when it's hard. One of the biggest challenges in developing discipline is overcoming procrastination. We all face it, that voice in our heads that says, you can do it later. But the truth is, later often turns into never. The way to beat procrastination is simple. Start, even if it's just a small step. Take it. Once you begin, momentum builds, and it becomes easier to keep going. Self-discipline is also about managing your emotions. There will be days when you feel tired, frustrated, or uninspired. Those are the moments that test your resolve. Remind yourself that feelings are temporary, but the results of your actions are lasting. Push through the discomfort, and you'll come out stronger on the other side. Accountability is another powerful tool for building discipline. Share your goals with someone who will support you and hold you to your commitments. Knowing that someone else is watching can motivate you to stay on track. Celebrating small victories is equally important. Every time you make a disciplined choice, acknowledge it. Give yourself credit for sticking to your plan, even if it's just for a day. Those small wins add up and reinforce the habit of discipline. Remember, self-discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop through practice. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Just like building muscle, it takes effort and consistency, but the results are worth it. Another key aspect of discipline is self-awareness. Pay attention to the patterns and triggers that lead you to slip up. Maybe it's staying up too late, scrolling on your phone, or maybe it's giving in to distractions when you're stressed. Once you identify these patterns, you can take steps to address them. Forgive yourself when you make mistakes, but don't let them become excuses. If you slip up, acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back on track. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Self-discipline also means being patient with yourself. Big changes take time. You won't see results overnight, but every disciplined choice you make is a step in the right direction. Trust the process, and stay committed to the journey. Finally, recognize that self-discipline is a form of self-respect. When you stay true to your commitments, you're showing yourself that your goals, dreams, and well-being are worth the effort. You're proving to yourself that you have what it takes to create the life you want. So where do you need more discipline in your life? Is it in your health, your work, your relationships, or your personal growth? Identify the areas where you've been inconsistent and make a plan to change that. Start small if you have to. Focus on one area at a time and build from there. As you develop discipline in one part of your life, you'll find that it spills over into others. Self-discipline isn't easy, but it's worth it. It's the foundation of success, the engine of progress, and the key to living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Make the decision today to develop your discipline. Commit to your goals, stick to your plans, and push through the challenges. You have the power to take control of your actions, your habits, and ultimately your life. Number 5, surrounding yourself with the right people. The people you surround yourself with have an incredible impact on the person you become. If you want to take your life to the next level, it's not just about what you do, it's about who you spend your time with. Every single person you meet influences you in some way. Whether they uplift you, challenge you, or drain your energy, their presence shapes your mindset and your actions. That's why it's crucial to be intentional about who you allow into your life. The right people can push you forward. They'll inspire you to be better, to dream bigger, and to take action toward your goals. They'll hold you accountable, support your vision, and help you navigate obstacles along the way. But the wrong people, they can hold you back. Negative energy, doubt, and distractions from those around you can derail your progress. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are content with mediocrity, it becomes easy to adopt that same mindset. If you're hanging around people who are always complaining, gossiping, or making excuses, it can become difficult to stay motivated and focused. Think about the people in your life right now. Who are they? What do they bring to the table? Are they pushing you to grow, or are they keeping you stuck in the same place? It's important to be honest with yourself about the impact your relationships have on your life. The first step in surrounding yourself with the right people is recognizing the difference between those who lift you up and those who pull you down. People who lift you up are supportive, encouraging, and push you to be your best self. They are positive influences who celebrate your victories and help you through your challenges. They are the ones who believe in your potential, even when you doubt yourself. On the other hand, people who hold you back are often the ones who question your dreams, criticize your efforts, or simply don't support your growth. These are the relationships that drain your energy and prevent you from moving forward. It might not be easy, but sometimes the most important thing you can do for yourself is distance yourself from those who aren't contributing to your growth. The people you spend time with can either expand your thinking or limit it. When you're around people who are constantly learning, growing, and pushing themselves, it becomes a natural part of who you are. You start to see what's possible for you. On the flip side, when you're surrounded by people who are content with staying where they are, you can start to believe that's all there is. One of the best ways to find the right people is to seek out those who share similar values and goals. If you want to grow, you need to be around people who are committed to growth. If you want to improve your health, surround yourself with people who prioritize wellness. If you want to build wealth, spend time with people who are financially savvy and who encourage you to think differently about money. It's also important to find people who challenge you. Being around people who think differently than you can expand your perspective and help you see things in a new light. These people won't just agree with everything you say, they'll push you to think critically, to question your assumptions, and to develop your own ideas. Mentors are an essential part of surrounding yourself with the right people. A mentor is someone who has been where you want to go and who can guide you along the way. They can provide wisdom, advice, and support based on their own experiences. A great mentor not only teaches you practical skills, but also helps you grow as a person. They believe in you when you can't believe in yourself and challenge you to reach higher. Networking with like-minded individuals is another great way to surround yourself with the right people. Attend events, join groups, and participate in communities where you can connect with people who are on a similar path. The more you surround yourself with positive influences, the more opportunities you'll have to grow and learn from others. One thing you'll notice about successful people is that they tend to have a strong support system. They've built relationships with people who are equally committed to their goals and who share their drive and ambition. These are the people who will celebrate your wins and keep you accountable during the tough times. But it's not just about quantity, it's about quality. You don't need a large circle of friends, but you do need a few solid, trustworthy people who truly support your success. Look for people who are generous with their time, who listen without judgment, and who offer honest feedback. These are the kinds of relationships that will propel you forward. At the same time, it's important to invest in others. Building the right relationships isn't just about what you can get. It's also about what you can give. Be the kind of person who adds value to others. Be supportive, encouraging, and generous with your time. The more you give, the more you'll attract the kind of people who can help you grow. Don't forget that you also have the power to influence the people around you. When you become a positive influence in the lives of others, you set an example for them to follow. Your actions can inspire others to be better, just as their actions can inspire you. The key to building the right relationships is mutual respect and shared goals. If you're constantly giving more than you're receiving, it's time to reevaluate those relationships. Healthy relationships should be balanced, where both parties support each other's growth and success. Finally, remember that the journey to surrounding yourself with the right people is ongoing. People change, and so do you. As you grow and evolve, your circle of influence may shift. Be open to new connections. And don't be afraid to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. The people you choose to surround yourself with can either help you reach your potential or prevent you from realizing it. Choose wisely. Choose people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. Because when you're surrounded by the right people, you can accomplish anything. Number 6, creating momentum with daily habit success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent actions over time. The key to making progress and achieving your goals lies in your daily habits. What you do every single day creates the momentum that drives you toward your future. Momentum is powerful. It's the force that propels you forward when things feel difficult. It's the energy that makes your progress inevitable. Without momentum, it's easy to feel stuck, like you're spinning your wheels. But once you start building momentum, things start to flow. Tasks become easier, progress becomes faster, and success becomes inevitable. The question is, how do you create momentum? The answer is simple: through daily habits. Every habit you create is a small, deliberate action that compounds over time. Think of it like putting money into a savings account. Each small deposit might not seem like much at first, but over time, those deposits add up to something significant. The same is true for your habits. Every time you make a disciplined choice, you are adding to the momentum that will carry you toward your goals. The first step in building momentum with your habits is identifying the actions that align with your goals. What do you want to achieve? What are the daily actions that will bring you closer to your vision? It's not about doing everything at once. It's about identifying a few key habits that will create the most impact. For example, if you want to get healthier, your daily habits might include eating nutritious meals, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. If your goal is to grow your business, your daily habits might include setting aside time to work on your business, reaching out to potential clients, or investing in learning new skills. The power of momentum lies in doing these things consistently, every day. But it's not enough to simply know what habits you need to form. The real challenge is sticking with them. This is where discipline comes in. It's easy to start strong, but it's the daily consistency that separates those who succeed from those who don't. One of the most effective ways to build momentum is to start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Start with one habit and commit to it. Once you've mastered that, add another. Over time, these habits will become second nature, and they will compound to create incredible results. Another important principle in building momentum is focus. It's easy to get overwhelmed by everything you need to do, but the key to building momentum is focusing on one thing at a time. Rather than spreading yourself too thin, dedicate time and energy to a few essential habits that will make the biggest difference. This focus allows you to build a strong foundation, and once that foundation is in place, you can add more. Tracking your progress is also an essential part of creating momentum. When you track your habits, you can see how far you've come and measure your growth. This can be incredibly motivating and can help you stay on course when things get tough. Whether you use a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, tracking your habits keeps you accountable and reminds you that progress is happening, even if it's slow. One of the most powerful things about building momentum through daily habits is that it creates a snowball effect. When you start seeing results, you'll feel more motivated to continue. The more you accomplish, the more confident you become in your ability to achieve your goals. That confidence creates even more momentum, and before you know it, you're making significant progress toward your dreams. But building momentum is not always smooth sailing. There will be days when you don't feel like sticking to your habits. There will be moments of doubt, frustration, and fatigue. The key is to push through those moments. Remember, momentum is built during the days when it's hardest. When you do the work, even when you don't feel like it, that's when the real progress happens. Accountability plays a big role in maintaining momentum. Having someone to check in with, whether it's a friend, mentor, or coach, helps you stay committed to your habits. Knowing that someone is holding you accountable can make all the difference, especially when you feel tempted to slack off. Accountability helps you keep your eyes on the prize and stay on track. It's also important to celebrate your small wins along the way. Building momentum doesn't always mean big, dramatic results right away. It's about making steady progress, one step at a time. Every time you stick to a habit, no matter how small, take a moment to acknowledge your effort. These small victories will keep you motivated and remind you that your hard work is paying off. Consistency is key when it comes to momentum. Even on the days when you feel tired or uninspired, show up and do the work. The power of momentum lies in showing up every single day, even when it's difficult. Over time, you'll see how those consistent actions lead to bigger results. The habits you form today will determine the life you create tomorrow. If you want to achieve anything significant, you need to make daily progress. The journey towards success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. The key to lasting success is creating momentum and building habits that support your vision. Remember, success is not the result of a single massive effort. It's the result of many small, consistent actions over time. Focus on building the right habits, and momentum will carry you toward your goals. So what small daily habits can you start today? What actions will you take each day to build the momentum you need to achieve your dreams? Start small, stay consistent, and watch how your efforts compound into extraordinary results. Number 7, breaking the comfort zone. Growth begins at the point where your comfort zone ends. If you're going to achieve anything meaningful, you have to be willing to step outside the boundaries of what feels familiar. The truth is, nothing extraordinary ever happens in your comfort zone. If you want to see real change in your life, you have to be ready to get uncomfortable. What is the comfort zone? It's that space where things feel safe and predictable. It's where you know what to expect and everything is manageable. But while the comfort zone feels good in the moment, it's also where your growth stops. No new opportunities, no learning, no challenges, just stagnation. And here's the kicker. You'll never grow or reach your true potential as long as you stay inside this zone. Now, breaking the comfort zone isn't easy. It's natural to feel resistance when faced with the unknown. Fear, uncertainty, and self-doubt often arise when you think about taking that first step into uncharted territory. But here's the thing. You don't need to have everything figured out to move forward. You just need the courage to take that first step. The first challenge in breaking out of your comfort zone is acknowledging that you're stuck there. It's easy to tell yourself that you're okay, that everything is fine, but deep down you know you're not growing. This recognition is key. When you realize that you've hit a wall, that's when you can begin to do something about it. Staying stagnant is the most dangerous thing you can do for your future. Progress requires change, and change requires action. To break free, you need to start by setting goals that push you. If you're comfortable in your life, your goals probably aren't big enough. Start thinking about what scares you. What would you do if you weren't afraid? The more you challenge yourself, the more you push your limits, the more you'll grow. Set goals that make you stretch, goals that make you uncomfortable. These are the goals that will force you to evolve. It's important to understand that growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. As you take the steps to break free from your comfort zone, you'll likely encounter obstacles and setbacks. That's normal. In fact, it's expected. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the ability to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. One of the most powerful ways to break your comfort zone is through small, consistent actions. You don't need to make huge, life-altering changes right away. Start small and build up your confidence. Take on challenges that feel just beyond your reach and push yourself to complete them. Each small victory will build momentum and help you move further from your comfort zone. Over time, what once seemed impossible will become part of your normal routine. But breaking your comfort zone is also about changing the way you think. Fear is a natural part of growth, but you can choose how to respond to it. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, use it as fuel. Understand that fear is a sign that you're growing. Every time you feel fear or discomfort, recognize that it's a signal to step forward, not step back. The more you lean into that fear, the more confidence you build, and the more you learn about your true capabilities. Another crucial element in breaking the comfort zone is developing a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that they can learn and improve through effort and persistence. They understand that failure is a part of the process and not a reflection of their abilities. When you adopt this mindset, you stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to learn. Every time you push yourself outside your comfort zone, you are giving yourself the chance to become better. You'll also need to surround yourself with people who support your growth. If you're constantly around people who are content with staying in their comfort zones, it will be difficult to break free. Seek out individuals who inspire you, who challenge you, and who encourage you to take risks. Surrounding yourself with a like-minded group of people will give you the strength and motivation to push through when things get tough. As you push past your comfort zone, remember that failure is not the end. It's a necessary step in the learning process. Every time you fail, you gain valuable insights that help you grow. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they've succeeded, but they keep moving forward. They embrace failure as a part of their journey. The more you fail, the closer you get to success, as long as you keep getting back up. One of the most effective ways to break your comfort zone is to focus on the process, not the outcome. When you're only focused on the end result, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. But if you focus on the actions you need to take and commit to showing up every day, progress will come. The key is consistency. The more you commit to the process of growth, the more results you'll see in the long term. In moments of doubt, remind yourself why you started. Why did you want to break free from your comfort zone in the first place? What are you striving for? Keep your vision in mind and use it as motivation when the going gets tough. Stay connected to the bigger picture, and don't let temporary discomfort hold you back from your long-term goals. Breaking your comfort zone doesn't mean you'll never feel fear or doubt again. It means that despite those feelings, you'll keep pushing forward. It means you'll no longer allow comfort to dictate your life. You'll take control of your actions, and you'll be willing to face the unknown in pursuit of the life you deserve. The bottom line is this: if you're going to get serious about your future, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Real progress happens when you step outside of what you know and push your boundaries. You have to be willing to stretch, to take risks, and to embrace uncertainty. That's where growth happens. Number 8, the compound effect of serious effort. There's a law of life that's as powerful as gravity. Small, consistent efforts, applied over time, lead to extraordinary results. This is the compound effect in action. The compound effect of serious effort doesn't rely on luck or talent. It's about discipline, persistence, and understanding that the little things you do every day add up to create the life you want. The compound effect is simple. It's the principle that tiny, seemingly insignificant actions repeated consistently over time build momentum and yield massive outcomes. But the key here isn't just effort, it's serious effort. Half-hearted attempts or occasional spurts of energy won't get you there. You need focused, intentional effort applied day after day. Think of it like planting a seed. At first, you see nothing. You water it, care for it, and still, it seems like nothing is happening. But under the surface, growth is occurring. Roots are taking hold. Over time, that seed breaks through the soil and grows into something amazing. That's the power of the compound effect. It rewards persistence, not instant gratification. The first step to harnessing this power is clarity. You need to know where you want your effort to lead. What are your goals? What kind of life do you want to create? Without a clear destination, your efforts can scatter in too many directions, and you'll lose the momentum you need to see results. Once you've identified your goal, the next step is breaking it down into actionable steps. Big dreams are made up of small actions. It's not about overhauling your life overnight. It's about taking consistent steps in the right direction. What small action can you take today that will move you closer to your goal? For example, if you want to improve your health, serious effort might mean committing to drinking more water, exercising daily, and eating nutritious meals. If you're building a business, It could mean making those extra calls, creating that content, or learning that new skill. The specific actions will depend on your goal, but the principle remains the same. Small, consistent effort leads to big results. One of the biggest obstacles to leveraging the compound effect is impatience. We live in a world that's obsessed with quick fixes and overnight success. But the truth is, real, lasting success takes time. You won't see dramatic results after one day, or even 1 week. But if you stay the course, those small efforts compound, and before you know it, you'll see exponential growth. Another critical component of serious effort is focus. Distractions are everywhere, and they dilute the power of your actions. If you're constantly jumping from one task to another, or trying to do too much at once, your efforts lose their effectiveness. Instead, commit to doing fewer things, but doing them well. Focus on what matters most, and give it your best effort. Accountability is another powerful tool for maximizing the compound effect. When you track your progress, you can see how far you've come. It's motivating to look back and realize that your small efforts have added up to something significant. Whether you use a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, tracking helps you stay consistent and focused on your goals. It's also essential to understand that the compound effect doesn't just apply to positive actions. Negative habits compound as well. Every time you skip a workout, spend recklessly, or procrastinate on an important task, those actions add up too. Over time, they can lead to results you don't want. The good news is that you have the power to change your trajectory. By replacing negative habits with positive ones, you can shift the direction of your life. One of the most beautiful things about the compound effect is that it works in every area of life. Whether it's your health, relationships, career, or personal growth, the principle remains the same. Serious, consistent effort applied over time transforms your life. But let's talk about the word serious for a moment. Serious effort isn't casual or occasional. It's not about trying when you feel like it or when it's convenient. Serious effort is a commitment. It's showing up even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you don't see immediate results. It's about taking ownership of your actions and understanding that every choice you make matters. The compound effect also teaches us about the importance of habits. Your habits are the building blocks of your life. If you want to create serious results, you need to cultivate habits that align with your goals. It's not about willpower or motivation. It's about creating systems that make success inevitable. For example, if you want to write a book, make writing a daily habit. If you want to get fit, schedule your workouts and stick to them. Habits automate your effort and ensure consistency. As you commit to serious effort, you'll notice something incredible. Your confidence grows. Each small victory reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed. The more you see the results of your efforts, the more motivated you become to keep going. This positive cycle creates unstoppable momentum, and before you know it, you'll be achieving things you once thought were impossible. There will be days when the effort feels like a grind, days when you wonder if it's all worth it. In those moments, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Remember why you started and where you're headed. Lean into the process and trust that the compound effect is working in your favor. Serious effort also requires resilience. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. That's all part of the journey. The key is to keep going, even when it's hard. Every time you get back up after a fall, you're reinforcing the habit of persistence. You're proving to yourself that you can handle challenges and keep moving forward. The compound effect of serious effort isn't flashy or glamorous. It's not about grand gestures or massive leaps. It's about the quiet, consistent actions you take every day. It's about showing up, doing the work, and trusting the process. Over time, those small efforts lead to big results. So here's the question. Are you ready to put in the serious effort? Are you willing to commit to the small actions that will lead to the life you want? If you are, then start today. Take one small step in the direction of your goals, then take another tomorrow, and another the day after that. Success is a choice. It's the result of intentional, focused effort applied over time. The compound effect is your greatest ally in creating the life you want. Use it wisely and watch your efforts multiply into extraordinary results. Number 9. Defining success on your terms. Success is one of the most talked about topics in the world. Everyone wants it, but not everyone takes the time to define what it actually means for them. If you're serious about living a life of purpose and fulfillment, the first step is to define success on your terms. not someone else's. Too often, people chase after a version of success that society has handed to them. They pursue the job title, the bank account, the big house, or the recognition, only to realize later that none of it truly fulfills them. Why? Because they were chasing someone else's dream, not their own. Success is personal. It's not a one-size-fits-all formula. What brings one person joy and fulfillment might not do the same for someone else. That's why it's so important to stop and ask yourself, what does success mean to me? When I think about the life I want to live, what does that look like? Defining success starts with self-awareness. You have to know yourself, your values, your priorities, and what truly matters to you. Take a moment to think about the times when you felt the most fulfilled. What were you doing? Who were you with? How did you feel? These moments hold clues to what success looks like for you. It's also important to recognize that success isn't just about external achievement. Sure, accomplishments can be part of it, but true success is about the internal. It's about how you feel when you wake up in the morning and how you feel when your head hits the pillow at night. It's about alignment, living in a way that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. One mistake people make is letting others define success for them. Parents, teachers, friends, or even society can project their version of success onto you. While their intentions might be good, it's up to you to decide if their vision aligns with your own. If you don't take control of your definition of success, you'll find yourself climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. Another critical part of defining success is understanding that it's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. Success isn't something you achieve once and then you're done. It's about how you live your life every day. It's the small moments of joy, the meaningful connections, and the progress you make along the way. You also need to accept that your definition of success might evolve over time. What you value at 20 might look very different at 40 or 60. That's okay. Success is fluid because life is fluid. The key is to regularly check in with yourself and make sure that you're living in alignment with your current values and priorities. Once you've defined what success means to you, the next step is to measure it on your terms. Too often, people rely on external markers to gauge their progress, titles, income, or accolades. But those metrics don't tell the full story. True success is measured by how fulfilled you feel, how aligned your life is with your values, and how much of a positive impact you're making on the world around you. To do this, create your own benchmarks for success. If spending quality time with your family is important to you, measure how often you're doing that. If personal growth is a priority, track the steps you're taking to learn and improve. These are the kinds of metrics that matter, because they reflect what's truly meaningful to you. Defining success on your terms also means giving yourself permission to live differently from others. You don't have to follow the same path as your friends, family, or peers. You don't have to chase what society tells you is important. Your path is your own, and there's power in embracing that uniqueness. At the same time, be cautious of comparison. In today's world, it's easy to look at someone else's life and feel like you're falling short. Social media in particular can make it seem like everyone else is living a perfect life. But remember, you're only seeing the highlight reel, not the full story. Focus on your own journey, and don't let comparison rob you of your joy. Another essential part of defining success is balancing ambition with contentment. It's great to have goals and dreams, but success isn't just about striving. It's also about appreciating what you already have. Gratitude is a powerful tool. When you take time to reflect on what's good in your life, you realize that success isn't something far off in the future. It's something you can experience right now. Success also involves giving back. It's not just about what you achieve for yourself. It's about the impact you make on others. Ask yourself, how am I contributing to the lives of those around me? How am I using my gifts to make the world a better place? True success includes leaving a legacy of kindness, generosity, and positive change. It's also important to recognize that setbacks are part of the journey. Success doesn't mean everything will go perfectly all the time. In fact, the challenges you face often teach you the most valuable lessons. When things don't go as planned, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're learning and growing. Finally, remember that success is a choice. It's not something that happens to you. It's something you create. Every decision you make, every action you take, brings you closer to or further from the life you want. When you define success on your terms, you take control of your life. You become the architect of your own future. Number 10. Leaving excuses behind. Forever excuses are easy. They're comfortable. They give you a way out when things get hard. But let's face it, excuses don't build dreams. They don't get you closer to your goals, and they certainly don't create the life you deserve. If you're ready to get serious about your future, it's time to leave excuses behind forever. Excuses are like anchors that hold you back. They might feel like protection in the moment, an explanation for why you didn't act, but over time they weigh you down. Whether it's fear, doubt, or procrastination, every excuse you make chips away at your potential. The first step to overcoming excuses is recognizing them for what they are, barriers you've built for yourself. Ask yourself, what's my most common excuse? Maybe it's I don't have enough time, or I'm not ready. Perhaps it's I'm too old, or I'm not talented enough. Whatever it is, write it down, look at it, acknowledge it, and then ask yourself, is this really true? Most of the time, excuses are based on assumptions or fears, not facts. For example, if you say, I don't have enough time, take a closer look. How are you spending your hours? Are you prioritizing what truly matters? Or are you filling your days with distractions? When you take an honest inventory of your time, you'll often find that the issue isn't a lack of time, it's how you're choosing to use it. Another common excuse is I'm not ready. But here's the truth. You'll never feel 100% ready. Waiting for the perfect moment is a trap, because perfection doesn't exist. The best time to start is always now. Progress comes from action, not from waiting. Fear is often at the root of excuses. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success can hold you back. But fear is a normal part of growth. The key is not to let it paralyze you. Instead, face it head on. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Most of the time, the worst-case scenario isn't as bad as you imagine. Excuses also thrive on a lack of accountability. When no one is holding you to your commitments, it's easy to let things slide. That's why having a system of accountability is so important. Whether it's a trusted friend, a mentor, or even a journal, having something or someone to answer to keeps you on track. Let's talk about mindset. A lot of excuses stem from a fixed mindset, the belief that your abilities and circumstances are set in stone. But that's not true. You have the power to grow, learn, and improve. Adopting a growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities and failures as lessons. When you believe in your ability to change, excuses lose their power. Another powerful way to leave excuses behind is to shift your focus from problems to solutions. Instead of saying, I can't, ask, how can I? This simple shift in perspective opens the door to possibilities. It forces you to think creatively and take ownership of your situation. Excuses also tend to exaggerate obstacles. They make challenges seem bigger than they are. That's why breaking your goals into smaller, manageable steps is so effective. When the task ahead feels overwhelming, you're more likely to come up with reasons not to start. But when you focus on just the next step, progress feels achievable. It's important to understand that leaving excuses behind doesn't mean ignoring challenges. Life is full of difficulties, and some obstacles are very real. But there's a difference between acknowledging a challenge and letting it stop you. When you take responsibility for your choices, you reclaim your power. Here's the thing about excuses. They often feel like they're protecting you, but they're actually keeping you stuck. They might shield you from discomfort in the short term, but they also prevent you from experiencing growth, achievement, and fulfillment. Growth comes from stepping outside your comfort zone, even when it's scary or uncomfortable. Accountability is another crucial tool. Find someone who will call you out on your excuses and remind you of your potential. This could be a mentor, a friend, or even a coach. Sometimes we need an outside perspective to see where we're holding ourselves back. Letting go of excuses also requires self-discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. It's the practice of showing up, doing the work, and honoring your commitments to yourself. Discipline doesn't eliminate excuses overnight, but it weakens their grip over time. Another way to overcome excuses is to focus on your why. Why are you pursuing your goals? Why is this important to you? When your reason is strong enough, it gives you the strength to push through obstacles and let go of excuses. Your why is your anchor. It keeps you grounded and focused, even when the journey gets tough. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. The company you keep has a huge impact on your mindset. If you're surrounded by people who make excuses, you're more likely to adopt that behavior. But if you're around individuals who take ownership of their lives, their mindset will rub off on you. It's also helpful to celebrate your progress. Every time you take action instead of making an excuse, acknowledge it. Small wins build confidence and reinforce the habit of taking responsibility. Over time, you'll find it easier and more natural to choose action over excuses. Leaving excuses behind forever doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or doubts again. It means you'll stop letting those doubts control you. It means you'll take responsibility for your actions and commit to moving forward, no matter what. So take a moment right now. Think about one area of your life where excuses have been holding you back. Identify the excuse, challenge it, and make a decision to act. Remember, every excuse you overcome brings you closer to the life you want.